Have you ever looked at someone and thought, how do they keep going? After everything they've been through, all the noise, the rumors, the judgment, they're still standing. Still creating. Still showing up like nothing can touch them. Johnny Depp is that kind of person. The kind of soul that feels everything deeply, yet somehow finds a way to turn the pain into something beautiful. You know his face. You've seen his movies. Maybe you've even followed his controversies. But beyond the headlines, beyond the characters he plays, there's something more, something honest, raw, and surprisingly relatable. Because underneath the fame, he's just a man trying to stay true to himself in a world that constantly tries to mold people into something they're not. If you've ever felt like you don't fit in, like the world wants you to be quieter, simpler, easier to explain, this video is for you. Because when Johnny speaks, he's not performing. He's telling the truth. And sometimes, those truths are the exact words we need to hear. Let's start with a quote that feels like a tattoo on the soul: "My body is my journal, and my tattoos are my story." It's not just about ink. It's about memories. Moments. Pain. Growth. Think about that. Most people want to hide their past. They want smooth, spotless skin, like they've never lived through anything hard. But Johnny? He wears his journey on his skin. His body is a canvas of everything he's been through. The joy, the heartbreak, the turning points. And isn't that kind of powerful? What if we all treated our scars that way? Not as things to be ashamed of, but as parts of a story. Our story. Maybe you have marks on your skin, stretch marks, surgery scars, burns, cuts. Or maybe the marks aren't physical at all. Maybe they're tucked inside, memories that still sting, words that were never said, dreams that broke before they even had a chance. What if those things weren't flaws? What if they were proof that you're still here, still standing? Johnny's not trying to erase his past. He's letting it speak. Loudly. Boldly. And maybe that's something we can all do, start honoring where we've been instead of trying to hide it. Another quote that hits hard is this: "Just keep moving forward and don't give a damn about what anybody thinks. Do what you have to do, for you." Now let's be real, this sounds simple on paper, but it's so hard in real life. Because we do care. We care what people think. Whether it's friends, family, strangers online, we care. We want approval. We want to be liked. It's human nature. But Johnny's not saying you should never care about anyone. What he's saying is, don't let their opinions cage you. Don't let their expectations make you betray yourself. Do what you have to do for you. Not for applause. Not for likes. For you. How many times have you held back because you were afraid of being judged? How often do you silence your truth just to keep the peace? We all do it. But here's the thing, at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with your choices. Your regrets. Your missed chances. So if you're going to disappoint someone, let it not be yourself. Move forward. Even if no one's clapping. Even if people talk. Even if they don't understand. This is your life. Your timeline. No one else gets to write your story but you. Then there's this gem: I think everybody's weird. We should all celebrate our individuality and not be embarrassed or ashamed of it. This one's actually kind of freeing, don't you think? Because deep down, we're all a little weird. We all have quirks, odd habits, things we love that others might not get. But somewhere along the way, we learn to hide them. We're told to fit in, blend in, act normal. But what is normal, really? Just another word for boring? Johnny didn't play by the rules. He didn't try to be what Hollywood wanted. He showed up as himself. Eccentric. Unpredictable. Honest. And yeah, maybe even a little strange. But that's what made him magnetic. That's what made people remember him. So ask yourself, what parts of you have you been hiding to make others comfortable? What parts have you muted down to avoid being too much? Maybe it's time to bring those parts back into the light. To love your weirdness. To own it. Because your weird is what makes you original. Let's talk about another quote that hits deep. Music touches us emotionally, where words alone can't. This one feels like a warm hug. Because if you've ever been in a dark place, and a song came on that said exactly what you couldn't, you know what Johnny means. Sometimes we don't have the words. We can't explain what we're feeling. But music does it for us. It reaches into that space where logic doesn't work and just understands. But it's not just about music. It's about all forms of expression. Maybe your outlet isn't a song. Maybe it's painting, or dancing, or even just crying in the shower after a long day. That's still expression. That's still healing. Johnny understands that art isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. And sometimes, making something is the only way we can process what we're going through. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or like no one gets it, create. Even if no one sees it. Even if it doesn't make sense. Let it out. Because expression isn't for show. It's for survival. Now here's something real. I'm not Hollywood. I don't think I'm Hollywood at all. I just want to make good films and tell the truth. That's a line that separates performance from purpose. Johnny's saying, I'm not here to be a product. I'm here to tell stories. And isn't that refreshing? In a world that's obsessed with image, clout, and the next viral thing, it's easy to forget why we started. Why we loved something in the first place. Maybe you started writing, or singing, or building, not to be famous, but because it made you feel alive. Maybe somewhere along the way, you got distracted by the noise. The numbers. The fear of judgment. Let this be your reminder to come back to your why. To the heart behind your passion. Because when you stay true to your purpose, the right people will find you. You won't have to chase. You'll attract. Now, here's a deeper truth. Johnny once shared that pain can be fuel. He said, you use your pain as fuel. It either destroys you, or it becomes your fire. And wow, there's something powerful about that. Because pain is part of life. No one gets through it untouched. But the question is, what do we do with it? Do we let it break us? Or do we let it build us? Johnny's pain isn't hidden. It's woven into his roles, his words, his eyes. And that's what gives them power. He doesn't pretend to be untouched. He doesn't act like he has it all figured out. He just uses what he's got. And turns it into something people feel. You can do that too. You don't have to wait until you've healed to start. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Your story, even the messy parts, has value. So don't hide it. Use it. And if you're not sure what your passion is right now, try this. Think back to your childhood. Before life got complicated. Before the world told you who to be. What did you love doing? What made time disappear? That's a clue. Maybe you haven't lost your passion. Maybe you just buried it under responsibilities, pressure, and expectations. But it's still there. Waiting for you to come back. Start small. Reconnect. Even for 5 minutes a day. And now, I want to turn the spotlight on you. Out of all the things Johnny said, which one stuck with you the most? Which quote made you pause and think, yeah. That's exactly what I needed to hear? Was it the one about not caring what people think? About owning your weirdness? About turning pain into fuel? Think about it. Let it sit with you. Because your answer isn't just a reflection of Johnny, it's a reflection of you. Now I'd love for you to share your thoughts. Drop a comment. Not just to be seen, but to maybe help someone else who's watching in silence. Your voice might be the one that reminds them they're not alone. And if this video spoke to you in any way, stick around. There's another one that dives even deeper into Johnny's heart. Into the quiet spaces of his life. The things he rarely talks about. I promise, it'll move you. Hit like if this felt right. Subscribe if you want more soul-filled content in your life. Not because I'm asking. But because you deserve to be reminded of your worth. Your power. Your story. And one last thing before we go. You're not weird. You're wonderful. You're not broken. You're becoming. And your scars? They're not something to hide. They're proof that you're still here. Still fighting. Still writing your story. And that story? It's far from over. In fact, the best chapters may be just ahead.